With me now is Todd Graham, debate director at Southern Illinois University, Carbondale. I used to work there years and years and years ago in Cape Girardeau and near Carbondale. Todd, I'm curious for you, how does one prepare for two different versions of their opponent?
It's a fine question, and welcome back to the region.
Thank you.
I think that you can prepare for Donald Trump to be interrupting you. I think you can prepare for Donald Trump to go a little over, but the muted microphone certainly did help in the last debate. So I think if you're Biden, you just go and prepare with your strengths. I've always told my debate teams that we shouldn't worry about the opponent's strengths. We should always debate to our own strengths. So that's what I would do. I wouldn't worry as much about Trump, but I would go back and know exactly what he usually does in every debate.
You know, you are the knower of all things debate. You've been doing this for a long time. Can you discuss what is a pitfall for incumbents in their very first debate?
I'm glad you asked that because I've actually talked about that before. The incumbents usually have a poor debate because they haven't been practicing. So your incumbent president 4 years ago was Trump. He hadn't been practicing, but Biden had been because he had to go through the primaries. So usually I think there's a little sleeper effect in the first debate for the incumbent president. If you remember, Obama had it when he debated against Mitt Romney. He came out very soft and almost, they thought, like he was a little sleepy. And then Mitt Romney took care of that debate and had a really good one. So I think that's important that both Biden and Trump, who have not debated, this is the first time we'll have a debate between two debaters who haven't debated in 4 years. This is the first time this happened in a long time. So what we need is both of them to go over their old notes and try to get better, because unfortunately, every time I watch them in a new debate after 4 years, no matter if it's a primary or general election, they usually have a very poor first debate.
I do want to ask you about the preparation Joe Biden's doing, mock debates. He's sort of hunkering down with his close aides. Donald Trump on the campaign trail, but also, of course, talking to advisors about how to handle the debate. Is it a mistake not to do a mock debate?
I do think it is a mistake. However, I think that's more of Trump's style. And one thing that I do teach people is don't change whatever you're doing if it's been relatively successful. So would I, as a coach, have a mock debate? Yes, I would. But Trump had them I don't know if he had them in 2016, but I know he had them in 2020. And people in that debate prep talked about how it wasn't very useful. It didn't get a lot done, et cetera, because he didn't want to be criticized in the debate. So that's just one of the things that he's used to. So I think he should practice what he's good at and then not worry about the rest of the prep, because debate prep would be new to him. And the word is he just doesn't like it how it's traditionally done.
You alluded to this. The rules for this historic debate are different. There is, for the first time, going to be a couple of commercial breaks. Staff is not allowed to interact with their candidate during that time. Uniform podiums, you're seeing the list there. The mics, as you mentioned, will be muted throughout the debate unless it is that candidate's turn to answer the question. There are no props or notes and no audience. When was the last time there was not an audience for a debate, and how might that affect each candidate?
I'm trying to remember if the second debate between Biden and Trump, I remember after Trump got COVID in the middle of the debates 4 seasons ago, I'm trying to remember if there was an audience for their final debate, and I'm not sure. But otherwise, there's been an audience for the last couple decades, as long as I can remember, and I'm really against debate audiences for presidential debates. So I think this is a wonderful turn of events. What happens when you don't have an audience is they're not always getting in the way. Sometimes audiences clap at what's frankly wrong answers, and so all of a sudden a candidate thinks they gave a good answer. So without an audience there to give feedback, Trump is especially used to feedback in rallies, et cetera. So, but without the audience there, I think it makes the answers more naked by themselves. You have to listen to their policy because there won't be an audience there. Audiences have also interrupted the moderators before and just booed them out of asking particular questions. So without that, I think your moderators are going to be sharper. I think the answers will be clearer in that we'll know if one of them understands the question or not. So I'm all for the no audience.
All right, Todd Graham, thank you so much for chatting with me this morning. I appreciate it. And